Hey y'all, and welcome back to another Black Mass adventure. Now, I spent the night out here in the Greenback area where there was a recent Bigfoot sighting. Now, the sighting happened pretty close to the Tennessee River Tellico area. So what I've decided to do today is to take out the kayak, go cruise the lake bank and see if I can figure out, if I can see anything. Worst case scenario, we'll just cruise along and enjoy the lake. So if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. Definitely give this video a like, and here we go. Gonna have to work on rigging a kayak filming rig, that's for sure, because my kayak's definitely something I'm incorporating with my investigations. So this is the area where a group of campers heard what they claimed to be a Bigfoot sitting right here. I guess it had came down to get some water, so the area behind here is basically nothing but woods and a field. So it's always interesting to be out here. Stick in the water? Looks like a freaking anaconda. There's no telling what's out here. So the Little Tennessee River is a pretty interesting area. We have gar, largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, catfish. We got channel cats and blue cats. So it has some great fishing opportunities. If you are into fishing. I didn't really get to do any filming last night. I tried to, but it just didn't turn out the way I wanted it. So I'm out here this morning. It's like 7:30 right now, so it's pretty early. I hear the bass jumping. Some good honeysuckles. I don't know if you all have ever eaten any honeysuckles. They are delicious. Alright, hang on one second. I'm going to get us up the bank some. That's just an old dock. Okay, so I had talked to an individual who lives out here, and they said that they hear this scream at night. I would assume it's probably something pretty similar to what we captured at Brushy Mountain. But this area is one of those, so this area is one of the few areas that is not developed yet. There's so much developing, and there's so many people moving out to East Tennessee that it's really almost hard to find a place to go anymore where there's just not tons of people. And so if that's something that you're looking to get into, you know, I don't really know what to tell people anymore, because it has gotten so bad, and it destroys the environment, really. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to get actually back into this cove, because this is just pushing me back out into the main channel, and that's not where I want to be. So give me 1 second here. It's definitely takes some strength to paddle with one arm. So there was a guy on a fishing boat that just came barreling through here a second ago. So hold on. Got some fishermen out there. That's where I was trying to go. Oh, there's a big old crane way back there. I wonder if I can get up on him. All right, so my crane flew off. I don't know where he went. So yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of signs of anything, to be honest with you. Obviously I have water, but there are some deer out here, so it's very possible that it was feeding on one of the deer, or some of the deer that are out here. There's a lot of rabbit also. I don't know, this is kind of a interesting video. It's really hard. I didn't realize how hard it is to film in a kayak. You can hear trucks in the distance. That's one thing that's driving me crazy, is the noise pollution that's happening in East Tennessee. Yesterday, I went fishing in a area that, when growing up, that's where I fished all the time. It was on this old back road, and when I was in high school, there was a guy that was driving down the back road, and he had flipped his truck. This same road, he flipped his truck and was laying in the road for close to 8 hours. Yesterday when we went fishing, it was like being next to an interstate. Like, it was crazy. Like I honestly, I don't know where these people are coming from. Like, and I don't understand what they're doing. Another thing that happens is people are trying to stay at campsites until they can find a home or build a home. I wouldn't recommend doing that, because then nobody can go camping, because everybody's just living in the campsites. But you know, people are people. It is what it is, I guess. So let's head on down this way, see if we can find anything. Now, right here is a big field. So if I was a Bigfoot, I would imagine I would be right in this area. Now, this spot that I'm at right now isn't far from where that one location that I find the Bigfoot footprints at. The location that I haven't released, that same place that I got shot at. So I don't know what is going on back here, but at that one location, it's pretty crazy. I'm gonna do a couple overnights there too, coming up, which should be fun. Yes, I'm holding the camera and paddling with one hand, so anybody want to give me crap about it? This ain't easy to do. But it's a really beautiful area. This is out in Greenback, Tennessee. Which is more of one of the more rural areas when Knoxville really started to get developed more. This is where a lot of the Knoxvillians moved, because even though Knoxville is not a big city by any means, well, it's getting there. It's still a pretty small area. The one thing that I don't understand is how people are affording to live here and build the houses that they do. I mean, I guess they're working remotely. So, East Tennessee pro tip, you need to be able to have a trade if you are going to live here and run your own business. Just as a backup, I understand that working remotely is a pretty common thing now, but like the town that I grew up in, if you made $50,000 a year, you were the rich person. Like, and now the houses and stuff that I'm seeing built are crazy. And you know, if you're working remotely, cool, that's good for now, but I don't know what's going to happen when these bigger companies pull the plug and start telling people that they got to come into an office, because I'm going to be honest with you, the economy is just not there. It never has been. We don't have a lot of big manufacturing things. They've been talking about putting in some sort of manufacturing thing in the Maryville area for like ever. Like since I was in high school, they've been talking about doing that, and it'll be a big draw for people because people will be able to, you know, make money that way. But still, it's a manufacturing job, so you're going to be working, you know, manufacturing something. It's not these high-end business jobs that people think they're going to be able to land. Granted, our taxes aren't bad, so act accordingly. It's so beautiful. So part of this area, now I don't think it is where I'm at right now, is man-made. So there's actually towns under the lake out back behind me that are underwater, like full towns. There's graveyards, there's all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool. So as y'all can tell, this video isn't really high intensity. So I'm going to be setting up some game cams as well in this area in hopes to capture something. My buddy Willis sent me this fox that he captured. It was freaking awesome. This thing was huge. It was on his, I think it was on his porch is what he said. Maybe I'll post up. Here's the fox that he sent me. I thought it was really cool. So maybe in this video I can answer some questions that I've been getting, because I'm not having too high hopes of a Bigfoot. seeing a Bigfoot. They're often seen in lake banks. They are. But I get a lot of emails and messages about people moving to Tennessee. Now, Tennessee is a fantastic place. I've lived here all my life. I absolutely love it. Only left when I was in the military, and then after the military I came back, just because it's my home, you know. And I understand that there's a lot of craziness in the world going on right now, and really it's going to get worse before it gets better. It just is, you know. I'm struggling with a lot of the stuff that's going on because I spent a lot of my time on the U.S.-Mexico border in Nogales and Yuma and areas like that now, with the ending of Title 42, are just being completely overrun. Now, you know, the majority of the people that want to come to America are good people. However, when you cross the border, you're in debt to the cartel. It's just the way that it works. Okay, it's just the way of life. Like, there's no sense in arguing about it. It's just the way that it is. The stuff that I had to deal with, they were just terrible. I mean, the stuff that I saw was it was horrible. Now, people are experiencing these kind of woke cultures and stuff like that in their states, and you know, it's kind of created a huge divide in our country, like a massive divide. I've never seen our country this divided. You know, one of my fondest memories of the United States was September 12th, 2001. Now, that was the day after the World Trade Center tragedy. But during that time, everybody was an American. There was no Republican, there was no Democrat. It was just everybody was an American. And, you know, people respected each other. Now people just don't respect each other. It's one side or the other, and if you're the other, you're the enemy. And that way of thinking's got to stop. Like, look, at the end of the day, like, I grew up poor, I'm still poor, you know. Like, in reality, it's just the way that it is, you know. And nobody in East Tennessee cares about race. Like, they don't. Like, it doesn't really matter. Well, there was one comedian that said, I think it was Ralphie May, it doesn't matter what race you are when you're eating Thanksgiving out of a Cool Whip bowl stained with spaghetti sauce. You know, and I really related to that because, you know, that's the reality of it. I am a Republican, but I am very open-minded. Like, I really don't care if you're gay, straight, trans, white, black, purple. Like, I really honestly do not care. It's all about character, you know, and how you treat people at the end of the day. And that's the way our country needs to move. So a lot of people ask me, how do I move from California, or how do I move from New York and not be considered an outsider? So, you know, like I said earlier, our economy is not that great. And we don't, but in East Tennessee, in the rural areas, we survived because we were a community. It wasn't anything, it's hard to describe because you just don't see it anymore. Okay, here's an example. So back in the day, if you were driving down the road and your car broke down, you would have 10 guys within 10 minutes all working on the same truck, hanging out, talking, whether they knew each other or not. It didn't matter. It's, you were in this area and you needed help, so everybody would chip in. Everybody would, because it was going to happen to one of us at some point, regardless of who you were. So when we would hear about a family needing food, or the roof had some damage that needed to be fixed, everybody chipped in to help. And it wasn't like it wasn't an IOU. It wasn't who can do it the cheapest, who's doing it for social media, whatever. It was, we were a community that helped each other. So we were able to survive based on just relying on each other. So it wasn't a big deal if you made a lot of money. It just wasn't. So the best advice that I could give is show everybody respect. Everybody, regardless of who they are. Even if they're walking around with a shirt that's completely different than your political beliefs. It's important for us to start just working together again. In reality, like, I kind of feel like our population here in East Tennessee has overgrown. So I don't know if that's gonna work out. I was driving a couple months ago, and my truck blew a radiator hose. So it was just blowing steam out the side of it. It looked a lot worse than what it was. So I turned on my blinker, trying to get over, and this woman in some stupid Mercedes, like, cut me off. And I'm in my truck. Like, I drive a 2001 Dodge Ram long bed. It's a big truck. So she flips me off. She cuts me off. She flips me off, and then won't let me over. And I'm like blocking the road at this point. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, how in the fuck? What is wrong with you people? Like, you don't do, like, back in the day, people would have gotten out and pushed the truck out of the friggin' road. And it just doesn't happen like that anymore. And, it's sad to me. So those of you all that are asking me about moving to Tennessee, one thing you need to do is you need to respect our culture, for one. We move a little bit slower out here. It's the simple things like chivalry. People say chivalry is dead. Open doors for women, open doors for elderly people, help them, check on your elderly neighbors. Do the little bit extra, because when you walk into a gas station and you cut in front of everybody, like, that's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I've seen that a lot lately too. I don't understand it. People are just like, they're in such a hurry everywhere they go, and it's like, where are you going? Where are you going? You got to be working from home. I mean, and not to mention, and I'm not hating on any contractors, okay? I'm not. But these houses and apartments that are being put up are being thrown together. Like, thrown together real quick. They want in and out. And why on earth you would want to move on top of another person in East Tennessee, I have no idea. I have no idea. So be mindful if you are buying a new house, what you're buying, because it might just be cardboard. So anyway, I just kind of want to show you all this area. Go check out maybe there's Bigfoot out here. Maybe not. I don't know. And I wanted to answer some questions for everybody that y'all have been asking me. With that being said, if you're new to the channel, this video is a little bit different. So I don't typically go into my political rants and stuff like that. But I've just had so many emails of people asking me about moving here that I just kind of wanted to kind of try to answer a couple of them. So if you all have more questions, you can definitely ask me. I'll do my best to get back to you. I get a lot of comments and questions, so please be patient. But other than that, y'all, I hope you all have a great weekend, and we will see you next time.